It's another Disney live-action remake, and we're going to have a lot of fun talking about the comparison to, obviously, the original. It's Lilo and Stitch 2025 from Disney, and their new collection, again, of their live-action set. Mark, again, it's me, Brian the Baltimorean. That's Mark.
Ham or tuna?
And
do you remember that quote?
Ham or tuna?
No, ham or tuna.
I don't recall that quote. Give me a... Oh, isn't that the same? Isn't that the fucking guy, the other alien, the one that I can't recall, the one that ever...
625. That's 625's first appearance in Stitch the movie.
I never watched that. That's why.
You never watched Stitch but you watched the series.
Of course.
But you never watched the fucking thing that started the series.
Not everyone watched Jimmy Neutron the movie either. I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't need to.
You don't.
Because sorry folks, the Jimmy Neutron movie is not really that good.
I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, because we both have an attachment to Lilo and Stitch, the franchise, and we'll get into it in a second.
I watched. Did you watch any of those direct-to-video Stitch movies?
Of course. Stitch Has a Glitch. I watched that a ton of times.
Leroy and Stitch.
Leroy and Stitch I watched maybe once or twice. I didn't think it was as good as 2. I thought 2 was like...
You never watched the fucking one that started the series.
We talked about sequels back when 1 and 2 came out, and that Disney doesn't nail sequels, but, in terms of the Disney Toon and direct-to-video stuff, like Lion King 2 and Lilo and Stitch 2 are right up there as good sequels to meet up with their predecessors. So...
Stitch! The movie, was the original... only sequel to the regular Lilo and Stitch. I thought it was a pretty good sequel.
I think it was in just the time period. It was like we had a VHS of, and we'll talk again. I had a VHS of Lilo and Stitch the movie, and it had the promotion for Stitch the movie. But I never seeked out Stitch the movie. Like I never ever once seeked out Stitch the movie, even though
I was Stitch crazy. Yeah. I wanted to see anything that Blue Alien was in.
I feel you. Talking about things that the Blue Alien was in, Mark, I want to give briefly for the audience our thoughts, sum up our thoughts here on a non-spoiler review of this movie, what we thought in general.
Fine kids movie. It does its job as a kids movie. Kids are going to like it because it's doing the thing they're looking for. The little blue mascot doing funny antics, it does that. But anything else in terms of substance doesn't do very well at all. If you're watching this compared to the original, it fails. If you're watching this to look for a heartwarming movie, it fails. If you want to put on a movie just that kind of entertains the kids' need for watching more Stitch, it works. Yeah, that's it. I mean, you got some other options, but you can throw this on too. It's this is the only option in theaters if you want to. If the kids are craving Stitch and if you want to get them out of the house. Sure, but for yourself, because I know you want to see some better movies. Don't go see, you got better options.
Yeah. On my end, yeah, I think we're in parallel here. This is to me, this is a Disney, as simple as I can say it. This is a Disney Channel remake. Kids are gonna find this entertaining. Families that like Minions are gonna find this shit entertaining. But this lacks the subtlety of the original, it lacks the strong storytelling of the original, it lacks the imagination, the depth of character, and the pacing. All of it is worse than the movie that it's basing itself off of. And if you are someone that has come to expect this from the Disney live-action remakes, then you'll be fine with this. But as someone that, again, is super attached to Lilo and Stitch, and the slow progression of live-action films being replaced in the mind share of genuinely the newer generations of what these properties are, it is genuinely depressing.
It's funny that you say a Disney Channel movie, because if you remember, this was supposed to be a Disney Plus exclusive.
Yes.
A la Pinocchio and Lady and the Tramp, when those two forgotten live action remakes.
Totally.
But honestly, I think they made the right decision of bringing this to theaters because this is a lot of money. It's a lot of money potential.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure whoever had that initial decision, Bob Iger came stomping and he was like, "What the fuck are you guys doing? That's my money. Put that in the fucking theater."
Again, it was you can't fault them for jumping Moana off the track of Disney Plus.
And you already started on a low budget. Get that shit in the fucking big screen.
Exactly. Yeah. You can't fault the idea of Bob Iger saying, okay, we're gonna fast track. We saw this exactly last year. Moana 2 was originally going to be a Disney Plus series. Let's compact it, make it a movie, fast track it for theatrical release, and that's what they did. And here we have sort of it was originally going to be a movie anyway, but it gets moved to theatrical. And the money that you're going to get out of this is astounding, especially for its budget of $100 million. I mean, it's already made 4 times that amount. So, for its budget, it's more than profitable. They're already discussing the idea of sequels. And so, before we get deeper into the review, and things like that, I wanted to talk about briefly just our shared connection of Lilo and Stitch, the original. Obviously, some of these are going to be spoilers for the old stuff if you haven't seen it, and obviously we're going to get into spoilers for the new thing. So just a heads.
That's real. So if you haven't watched the original movie, get the fuck out of here. Fuck you, buddy.
Yes.
And if you haven't watched Stitch the movie, the sequel, fuck you, buddy. I hate you.
So obviously this all kicks off with Lilo and Stitch 2002, but this thing again, like everyone has talked about online, when you rewatch or review this franchise, this is this is the most valuable property for Disney in the 21st century. I mean, it spawns 3 sequel films. It spawns a series, multiple video games. It had a ride at Disney World or at Disney parks. It had a valued presence for a long time in the 2000s, and it just continues the merchandising into the 2010s and now into the 2020s. Mark, what's your attachment to Lilo and Stitch, just as a property, as a brand itself?
As someone who grew up loving fucking blue mascots. I mean, this one's no exception. This side is I fucking love the shit out of this blue mascot. Of course, this is Disney loves it too, because this is the second closest thing they had to a fucking national Mickey Mouse.
Stitch is coming to your TV. Yeah, that's right. Experiment 626 is back.
The first thing I saw of Stitch was the series, because my family was too poor to bring to the fucking theater or to buy DVDs at the time. So the series came a year or two after.
Very soon, yeah.
Very soon. Then I saw the first movie. I fucking loved it. Saw Stitch, Stitch exclamation mark, the movie. That was fun because it gave the series a whole Pokemon aspect.
Right.
Because this is the whole franchise is very anime inspired, but it's also very anime structured as well, because where the first movie kind of works like a makeshift Ghibli movie, because you have a little girl protagonist, she's meeting a creature, and there's family drama. You can easily see this in a Ghibli style. That's not permission to fucking AI.
I was gonna say, don't do that. Heads up, don't do it.
And then Stitch the movie gives the whole series a Pokemon aspect. So you have a sort of collect them all sort of thing, where they make because of Stitch Experiment 626, they do something with that, and wait a minute, what if there was other experiments? What if there was 665 other experiments? And that just really worked well. And I love the designs for those experiments, and this series, in terms of marketing, did really well with I love those old ads. So, because besides that movie itself, those old ads are so fucking memorable with him invading other Disney movies. He replaces Simba, and I think Rafiki just drops him.
Yeah.
And he's invading a magic carpet ride sequence, and he just and he stitches Mr. Steal Your Girl during that sequence where he shows up in his hot rod and he just leaves with Jasmine, and fucking Aladdin is just looking sad because he got cucked. He got cucked. But this is such an iconic franchise, and Stitch himself is fucking adorable. He's an awesome design creature, and I love the infinite merchandise of him. I want infinite plushies of him because he's so fucking adorable.
Yes. Yeah, I'm with you 1,000%. This is again not only is it that the franchise itself is so incredibly popular, I mean, and rightfully so. I'd never thought of it as like in an anime aspect. You know, more just the sci-fi angle is, you know, and obviously anime usually utilizes sci-fi very often, but you know, when it, I see what you mean when it got into the alien, all the other different aliens, and that expansiveness is where I think, you know, for me, there's a mixture of ooh, this is interesting, and ooh, this kind of gets not out of hand, but to me it got a little too much. Like, but I'll start with Lilo and Stitch 1, right? So Lilo and Stitch 1 personally for me is one of my favorite Disney movies of all time. I think it's absolutely, like, it is as fun, flawless, and well-paced a movie with heart as, like, it's right up there with Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which we saw. It's like fun, perfect movie. But this is going off of content that we haven't seen before. We've seen Puss in Boots before, so that's not necessarily the best thing to compare. When I think about it now, like when I rewatch it again, it's like what I was thrown back to, and why I think as a kid I liked it a lot, was Disney up until that point. It's like the Renaissance movies were very bombastic and they were very orchestral and they had this gravity to them. And what was the difference with Lilo and Stitch is these are just humans at a family level with relatable issues, and an alien comes in the middle if it causes chaos, and it's a great story within that. You know, there's so much, you know, some of my favorite things about it is, again, like, the incredible imagination in this movie. Like, notably, the first 10 minutes, just that space sequence alone, I love so much, which, when we get to the deeper review of the live-action movie, like, it's one of my biggest issues with it, is, again, so much about that section is just, it's all imagination, and it's all taken seriously, though, but it's grand and excellently done. And then the movie throughout is fascinating, and, you know, Lilo herself is so relatable, and you see that not only if you're watching from an adult angle, but you're seeing it as a kid. You can relate to, you know, that sort of energy that she's given from people. But yeah, I think, again, gotta shout out the fact that, again, the dialogue, it felt genuine. This wasn't, again, going back to the Renaissance movies or Tarzan even. It's like, even like Emperor's New Groove, which it's like, it's almost there. It's like, it's the dialogue for a lot of those movies, like Lion King and Aladdin. It's like, these are plays. These are great, but these are plays, and it's phenomenal. And I love the voice acting in those movies, but they're plays. Here, again, like, you get those sequences where Nani and Lilo are talking together after the social worker comes in, and it's just genuine. It's like, it felt like human dialogue, and we hadn't gotten that very often, it seemed. And again, we've seen that more and more now over the past, I'd say, 10 years. It's done a lot better, especially at the family feature level. But yeah, like, shout out to that, to the original. And going to the future of that franchise, again, Stitch 2, I think, is great. It puts stakes onto Stitch. You don't want him, obviously, to die or get fucked up or, you know, all of that.
Because, like, I didn't really think of how the art styles were different from the series, from Stitch to, Stitch the movie to the series to, like, the original movie.
Yeah.
And, like, when they went back to Stitch 2, because this was, like, when the series was already airing, or when the series finished?
It's like 04, 05, I believe.
It was before it was mid-series. Cause it was before it finished ending, because, like, directly after that was Lilo and Stitch, I remember.
Right.
But, like, they went back to kind of replicate the first movie's art style. They didn't do it perfectly, because also this direct-to-video movie, but, like, they, like, you know, it made me realize how, like, different the first movie's art style was.
Yes.
Compared to the series and Stitch the movie.
Because what I remember with Stitch 2 is, again, I think they captured it very well. They did, I think, a very good job for what they could do. And again, like, from that point forward, once they got to what you were talking about earlier with the aliens, like, once it got more and more, because I think I like the idea of, again, you have this they presented these rules and structure very well, and we're going to talk about that when we get to the spoiler review of the new one, because those rules and that structure, that idea, it's literally gone, like, or it's so fucking screwed up. But once you get to all these other aliens joining in, I think it's not messy, and it's not a bad thing, but it's like, I like the Lilo and Stitch. I like human and Stitch. I like family Stitch together. Like, when it becomes, here's this character, that character, this character, like, it's not what I liked so much about the franchise up to that point. And obviously I didn't see Stitch the movie, so technically it was already part of the universe at that point. But because it was not something I had seen, when you get to the end and you get to Leroy and Stitch and all that, it's like, I'm not really feeling this, but I don't mind that much. But it definitely was like my least favorite of the movies. I
can tell you I think my favorite is the first Lilo and Stitch.
Oh yeah.
And the second favorite is like Stitch the movie is really good.
Cool.
Stitch 2 and Leroy, the afterthoughts they're fine. I like them both. I like them both. Just, like, they're still really fun movies. And so is the series is just like fun. But yeah, it's just like the whole Stitch franchise is really good. But like it's the whole experiment thing is kind of like it is a different section of the franchise. And it is like I was like fairly interested, fascinated when Stitch 2 was announced and it came out, because like my first thought, because I was a kid, I was like, Stitch 2, we're mid-series, like we already came out with Stitch the movie and we're mid-series, so why are we just getting Stitch 2? And then like it goes and like they establish that it goes back before like the second section of the franchise, of the series. It goes back to the first movie.
Exactly.
And like he even tries to replicate the art style. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. It's a prequel.
Right. And again, I think there was so much that they still tapped into, and they did it very well. Again, I think when you look at this movie that we're about to talk about, like even I think Lilo and Stitch 2 is done better, just from any standpoint.
And I'm pretty sure you never seen the animes.
But I haven't seen, not Stitch. I'm saying Stitch 2, the movie. No, I haven't seen, like you said, there's so much more. Like,
I'm just bringing on the mention. I'm pretty sure you haven't seen the animes.
So there's I and Stitch, I believe, is the other, is the most latest. And then there's another one prior to that. Like,
just Stitch!
Yeah.
Exclamation point again.
And they kept, like, again, they've recycled this because, again, the love of this character, and just what it means in general. Like, again, like, you don't get the core love of Stitch without that first movie doing such a good job of getting those core messages in, and then from there following through and making Stitch this massive thing. But that continuation of, let's.
By the way, the series, the Asian, both Asian series, Japanese and Chinese.
Yeah. They're fine. They're fine. Is what you're saying.
Yeah, they're right. Hit and miss. Mostly
so
miss.
Perfect. So they.
They're not better than the Disney Channel series. I'll tell you that.
So they line right up with the new movie then.
They're better than that.
We have apprehended a dangerous experiment.
He escaped.
On May 23rd.
You sure that's a dog?
Yeah.
Lilo and Stitch again. And we talked about our thoughts, non-spoiler wise, but let's.
Can we talk about the fucking advertisement campaign? That was a fucking lie.
So we can. I think there's a couple things we could talk about with the advertising campaign. I think the biggest issue isn't just that the advertising campaign was lazy, but I will say there are moments like they had Stitch at the Super Bowl, and I thought that was smart.
I mean, they already did the work for themselves, like
to edit that
for years prior anyway, because Stitch is already everywhere. It is essentially their mask. I think honestly, I see Stitch in more places than Mickey Mouse.
Well, they also,
with the exception of Disney World itself.
Well, Disney literally probably wants to move ever quickly off of it as the things start to get into public domain. Like Disney's definitely presenting the idea and the feeling of, we want to front forward these things and not, the stuff that's so ancient that it's starting to get into public domain. But I think in general, one of the things that sucks about this variant is there was no attempt to even go after the 2000s era, like, marketing style. Like, there was no attempt at that. And it's like, there's no...
They have a perfect basis, because I already remade all those movies, like, he crossed over with in the old marketing.
Then
it's not even that, because like that would have been fine, but like no one really thinks of those as, oh man, like, oh that's fun. It's like it would be cheeky and it'd be adorable, and it's like, oh, it's an ode to what they did before. But the reason why that worked before is because there was significant gravity to those remakes. Like, I mean, not remakes, to the originals. There was significant gravity to Aladdin and Lion King and Beauty and the Beast and all of it. Like, there was significant gravity.
And this is that time before there was like internet parodies of Disney movies and stuff.
Right.
So, you like seeing these Disney movies we know and love that just get messed up by like Stitch. It's like it's so funny, and it's so interesting, and like they're actually remaking scenes. So like, if they were to, it would make it worth it. It would make these live action remakes so much worth it if they just kind of just like redid that marketing scheme.
I would have, because you've got to go. This is the issue, by the way, of Disney being so poor in their. This is number one, the issue with you're doing a live action remake, not a CG animated remake. And number two, this is the problem with relying on remaking content for the past like several years. It would have been more intelligent if you were going to put Stitch, because this is a CG model, put him in Frozen, a Frozen 1 scene, put him in a Wreck-It Ralph scene, put him in a Big Hero 6 scene, put him in a Encanto scene, put him in a fucking Wish scene. I don't know, like, but like, do it that way. Like, because your reliance on referencing, you're referencing the reference. You're referencing the remake, which is a reference to the past. Like,
Yeah.
And it's tired, and also it's not done well. It's done lazily, and again, like there's no. When I turned on my VHS tape and played and rewatched Lilo and Stitch before watching this remake, it was like, oh man, I wish they really had gone after just advertising this movie with a little bit of that early 2000s flair.
June 21st, Walt Disney Pictures unleashes our newest creation. Meet Stitch, part alien, part Elvis.
Because it would have tapped into a little bit more excitement. But again, they didn't need to. This movie made $400 million in less than 7 days. This movie has already made its money back in droves. They didn't, like, this is a perfect example of the lack of need to do this.
I was looking for a recreation of the crossover marketing, because like they said they were going to do it, and they almost did with that crappy really made Lion King one, but it was just like a half-second clip of the opening of the remake Lion King.
Yes.
And then like a clip from the movie of like, no, that was not from the movie. It's a Stitch being held up in the Fast and the Lion King, but it's still in his world, and it's like that's not the same.
No, because again, like we talked about, like I said earlier, it's like, again, the idea of.
And then they didn't do any more of those anyway. So.
But I would have preferred if, again, they just had him run through. Again, shout out the things that you were good at for the past 10 years. Not the stuff that you're remaking. Like, I know this is a remake, so you want to reference the remakes, but it's like, again, it would be nice if it was Encanto, and it was, if it was Encanto, if it was...
I get you. I think it'd be even cooler if they actually, if they use the remakes instead, because that means they also have another purpose besides like, they have a purpose for existing other than the money, the crash grabness.
Yeah, but unfortunately...
Because, like, they exist to be in Stitch's marketing. That's their other purpose.
Yes. And it also... Unless
we finally get, like, a Kingdom Hearts adaptation, and, like, they find, like, live-action adaptation where it's like, they do have another purpose for existing. To be crossover fodder for the Kingdom Hearts movie.
Alright, we are, let's talk about the
we phone in a friend
discussion here. We now are joined also over the phone with Lana, who is with us for, obviously, the Final Destination. Find her at Lana Boo on Instagram. Lana, your thoughts on the original before we get into our review. You have an interesting thought on the original there. Go ahead.
So, when the original first came out, I watched it when I was like, I would say 13, 14, somewhere around
when
there.
you were a kid.
And I didn't like it that much. I liked the Stitch parts. It had cool, like, little action pieces here and there, but mostly it was boring to me. So I was like, So now that the remake got announced and is coming out, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give the original another chance, because I haven't watched it since then. I only watched it once, so maybe my adult brain, can like consume this differently. And I watched it. I watched it again, yesterday or 2 days ago, and it's somewhat the same. It's an okay movie, mostly boring, and I was like, okay, and that really got me in the. They already set my mind for the remake because I'm thinking. Before
you get into the remake, I do want to ask you, what do you think was boring about it? Just because, again, I haven't heard that side of it. What would you find boring about it?
So it was mostly the advertisement for the original movie, right? It was always so. I don't know. It was always so funny, so bombastic, and Stitch was such a little shit. You know what I mean? But when you get to the actual movie, there was a little bit of that, like I would say maybe 35% of that, where Stitch turns and becomes good, and I don't know. I guess my brain was ready for more alien action. Instead we got a heartwarming family flick. I wasn't prepared for that type of change.
But upon rewatching, did you still felt, because now that you actually know what was around the corner, like, you still felt the same way?
I still felt the same way because heartwarming family flicks is not really my type of media.
Okay.
I mean, it's. I mean, I get it. You know, people cry at this type of stuff. Oh, you know,
So I guess you don't like Ghibli movies?
Huh?
I guess you don't like Ghibli movies because it's kind of like the same vibe as that.
I've never seen any.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen any. Well, actually, no, that's not true. I've seen one. I've seen Princess Mononoke, which was great.
That's the one that's not the family movie.
That's more action-y, demon-y stuff.
But, so, at its core, your thoughts on the original Lilo and Stitch was just that your perception of the marketing misled you, and for the rest of time, it seems that mislead kind of has set your perception of the movie up as wasting.
Because he came out one of the main clips they would show in the promotional material is Stitch on that hill behind the fire with guns, and I was like, oh yeah, he about to fuck some shit up, but he never really get to use his guns. He doesn't really do anything that bad in the movie. Like, it's tame compared to what I was expecting. I was expecting a whole alien invasion from this little shit, but I don't know.
So going into after seeing that and then going into the live action movie, what do you think about the? Since you already had kind of thought this is like, what did you think about? Do you think that this was done better or worse, or do you actually prefer this since you didn't necessarily prefer the original over this?
Oh, no. I definitely prefer the original over the remake, but they kind of in the same 5 out of 10 area for me. It's like some things.
I knew I was gonna get you.
What happened?
Brian fucking chugged his water.
Sorry, you said 5 out of 10 for Lilo and Stitch.
I know. I was like staring at Brian's camera the whole time. I already knew these opinions ahead of time.
You said 5 out of 10. I was like, I can't. It hurts.
I'm sorry. Like, I would give give the original a 5 out of 10, and I would give this one like a 4.5.
You give it that close?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same movie, but in live action.
Yeah.
I can hear the pain in his voice.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, it's probably best that you're not in the same room because, like, you'd be fucking choked to death.
No. We welcome all opinions here. I think if you were here, you would hear for the next 45 minutes the many ways that it's not the same movie. But those are the parts.
No, we don't welcome all opinions here. Every time I bring mine, then you fucking chew me out.
Excuse me, aren't you the person that didn't like Martin's fucking Jackie Chan Adventures as well?
Yeah, you guys chewed me out for not liking it. I was the fucking outlier there.
Listen,
That you just proved my point.
You just said it was
reason why
boring.
it's so close to me is
Yeah.
because I
I
don't
was
break
objectively
down the family
correct.
moments. Huh?
Wait, go ahead.
Go ahead, Lana.
I don't break down the family moments. I just
No, but you don't need to break.
on
It's,
one point. Oh, family
I don't
moment.
break down.
Oh,
There's
family
no- it's-
moment.
it wasn't like breaking down at those moments.
Actually, no. You like fucking Pixar movies, dude. Those are family, like, heartwarming shits.
They're also actiony.
What? No, not all of them.
Finding Nemo, that's like more.
I
That's
haven't
like,
watched all of them, and Finding Nemo was actiony. It was Finding Nemo was scary.
that was
as
actually a
fuck.
Stitch.
Huh?
That was actually a Stitch. There was a lot of heart in that.
I haven't seen Stitch. What
No,
did you
I've
say?
It's the fucking Lilo and Stitch.
The what?
As actiony as Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, as actually as Lilo and Stitch. Yeah.
Yeah.
What
But
was?
the only Pixar movies I watch is like Toy Story, which was scary as fuck. That scarred me as a kid. That was actiony.
Did you watch? Trying to think where you are. You said 14. Did you watch Land Before Time as a kid?
I think once.
Did you?
I don't really remember it. It's not memorable to me.
Did you watch Little Mermaid?
Ugh. Yes, and I only watched it because I had to.
Okay.
That was my little sister's one of my little sister's favorite movies, and I was stuck in the room with her.
And you just
But
thought,
not really my thing.
okay.
I don't have a problem with heart. Just give me action too.
There's action all over the place in Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
There's nothing going on.
There's
Literally
cartoon
nothing.
shit.
But Jumba and Prickly fumbling around for 30 minutes.
So, did you just? Sorry for getting so deeply analytical to your thoughts on it. I just want to know: do you think do you just not attach to Lilo? Is Lilo the part of the movie that you don't like, basically?
Oh no, Lilo is awesome.
What-
Because Lilo, she in the original movie, I didn't like her that much in the remake. I mean,
Wait! Are you saying you like Lilo in the live action remake, but not in the original? Is that what you're about to tell me?
no.
Oh, sorry. I'm already
I
going.
have to give credit where credit is due.
Okay.
Because
Okay,
the
I'm
Lilo
sorry.
in the live action, she's not as good as the original, of course. But I give her flowers because the little girl was only 6. She did a good job.
No, she did a great job, but I'm saying,
she did a good job.
I'm trying to find what was not interesting in the original Lilo and Stitch. Like, because if you like Lilo and you like Stitch, and was it like the Nani parts that you didn't like? Was that the part, like the Nani parts?
Oh, like, the whole family dynamic is just not
So the
funny.
Nani
I
parts.
don't care about the social workers. I don't care about
didn't
Nani's
care
job.
about
I don't care about Nani herself. I don't care
Bubbles?
about her relationship with David. I don't care about
What?
the fucking beach, the
That's
Hawaiian
the whole
setting.
point. That is the whole point. That's the movie. That
The only reason I like Lilo is because she's a badass. She's weird, and she attacked that. She was punching the shit out of Murder on her face. That's yes.
But why does she do it? And how does she grow? It's through the movie.
Wait, Lana. So wait, you don't like heartfelt moments. So why don't you like?
I didn't say I don't like them.
No,
I just
she
said-
needs
I just
action
said I
within them.
I want more action in my movies.
So do you watch any movies that just have heart?
How to Train Your Dragon?
Did you like that?
Yes, because it's a nice balance between
Isn't it
action.
It's from the same writer.
I said-
It's from the same writer as Lilo and Stitch.
And they did a good job with that one.
No, I know. Well, I'm not talking about just with action. I'm just talking. Do you ever watch movies with just heart?
No, I never seen Up. I never
Okay,
seen.
so Brian, would you say like Soul has a lot of action?
Soul.
Because I'm bringing up Soul because I saw Lana cry at the end of Soul.
Yes.
Soul has action, but not in the traditional sense of action. And
He was like, there was a struggle, right? Because he was trying to escape this world that he didn't want to be a part of. But at the same time, even though, and this is about to piss Mark off, even though I cried at the end of Soul had a nice ending, didn't really care for the movie that much.
You just said wait. Just say you didn't care for Soul that much after struggling to get through the final portions of that movie.
You get to learn about your friends every day, Brian.
So I would give Soul the same thing I would give Coco. 6 out of 10.
You get to learn. You get to learn.
6 out of 10.
You get to learn more about your friends every day, Brian.
Do you think? do you think that? Holy shit! What about Kung Fu Panda?
Yeah, Kung Fu Panda was great.
That's not a good example, Brian. You know that has.
I know because
she doesn't like story, dude. She doesn't like story.
I know. Well, this leans more action and story and it's heartfelt, but the heartfelt.
No, she doesn't like story.
So I'm trying to find the balance. Again, these are just moments. It's because also moments in time, and also again, there's a point that, like she said in the beginning, the marketing really does. Like if you market your movie, we talked about this with Elemental. If you market your movie one way, and then it's a completely different movie in another way, like you are going to completely like readjust how people see this film.
Wait, speaking of market, she probably hasn't, because she doesn't look for like good movies. But like,
Jesus,
have you ever seen Iron Giant? No, you have not.
Once. I think once. I know the character. I just don't remember the movie.
No, then you haven't really seen it. Never mind.
But you know which one that really surprised me because I thought I was gonna like?
What? Lilo and Stitch.
Encanto. Encanto just was a 5 out of 10 because it had all the elements, all these superpowers and stuff, but they don't really
Just open the door and
do
yell.
anything.
Holy shit.
Encanto is just so. The only thing I like about Encanto is the song about the guy. That's the only thing I like.
Oh, okay, that's awesome. That's awesome.
I'm sorry, Brian.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I'm sorry. Like it was so. I hate our main character. She's so.
Okay. All right. Hey, this was a good learning opportunity, but we don't want to keep you too long. Did you have any other?
Well, Brian messed up the sentence. He added too much to his sentence. What he meant says we don't want to keep you.
Oh my god! Oh my god! No, but do you have any final thoughts on Lilo and Stitch? We know you have to keep it moving. So, do you have any final thoughts on just thoughts on Lilo and Stitch here? The
It was
2025.
It was a fine movie. I hated the CGI though, like especially for Prickly. Like his eyes. First of all, he was so slimy, and his eyes were so glassy. It disturbed me. I'm like, ew. He's so ugly. At least Jumba looked kind of normal. But other than that, it was an okay movie.
Cool beans. Again, that's a 4.5 out of 10 compared to a 5 out of 10 for the original Lilo and Stitch.
All right, so yeah, you audience learned a lot more about Lana. She is a problem with our modern focus groups today. She is the reason the movies are being made the way they are. She hates story.
Oh my god!
She only wants like dumb shit. She only wants to. She only watch the movies for the jingling keys. Look at this. 2 hours of. She's the person that grabs the DVD and it's like 2 whole hours of jingling keys. I'm in.
That's what I want. I want at least one person dead. That's what I want.
Jesus. Yeah. Yeah.
I do like Gang 2 though. Gang 2 was fun because he always was for the smoke.
Did you like him in a new movie?
Jesus.
Shouldn't that alone take a whole point away from the live action? You know.
Yeah, that's why I have a 4.5.
No, I mean a whole point. They should be close. These two movies shouldn't even be close together.
Well, the reason why it's bumped back up a little bit is because I like Jumba more in the remake.
But this is not. Again, these are not the same Jumbas.
No, I know they're not the same, but I prefer this version. And it never made sense to me that Jumba was some evil mad genius who got locked up for years, and then he just get to the island and turn good. Like.
We're gonna get to our own personal review.
Shows in the movie. They explain.
We're gonna get to our own personal review, but like you're stupid.
Yeah.
All right, so like I think we're just gonna get to our section. So like, Lana, the only question I have is like So a movie like you probably should like more is like what has less heart and more action is DreamWorks Trolls. That has a lot of action, no heart, but a lot of action.
There's also Minions.
Yeah,
No.
it's action, no heart. What's wrong with it?
No. I like heart. Those movies are just stupid.
No, you don't. You want fucking action with it. You want the jingling keys.
There's nothing wrong with wanting a good balance between the things. If it's
There's some, you know what? There's a little bit of heart in it. There's a balance.
Like,
There's a balance.
these sweet moments. Oh, please shoot
Trolls
me.
has some sweet moments.
Hell no. Trolls is fucking dumb as fuck.
I don't know, like the Smurfs looks like it has a lot of action in it. Well, don't you want to see it? New 2025
that is yet
Smurfs?
to be seen. That is yet to be seen. It might be a sleeper hit. We never know.
All right, you'll be our reviewer for that one. If you don't review that movie for us, you're getting evicted. That's
Brian, you seen the Smurfs?
2025. I mean, Smurfs 2025. We have none of us seen it. It's not out yet.
No, I haven't seen. I never saw the live action Smurfs because none of it looked interesting. The concept,
Yeah.
the very nothing looked interesting. Yeah.
I've seen them and they aren't interesting.
What? Wait, what?
I've seen the other Smurf movie. I've seen it,
Oh.
and it was not interesting at all. It was terrible.
Did you like Alvin and the Chipmunks, the live action movie?
Oh no, God no,
But it has action and a heart.
no, there's not action.
All right, I'm just fucking with. All right. Thank you for joining us. Never again. Fuck you. Not just kidding. Well, this was interesting to hear though.
Yeah, so I already know I'm gonna get my ass blasted in the comments or whatever.
If we ever get comments.
Huh?
I should be an asshole and single out this section of the review and just say, interesting take on Lilo and Stitch. I'm just like, what? That'd be ridiculous. I'm not going to do that.
I'm gonna dox this person. Wait a minute! They're coming after me!
You know what? Wait a minute. Ready Player One is all action, no heart, nothing, no soul.
No, there's some heart in Ready Player One.
There's no soul. There's no soul in Ready Player One.
No, there's a little bit of heart in Ready Player One.
Yeah.
So there's a balance. Solana likes it.
No, there's no heart in Ready Player One. The only heart that they have is that the chick that thought she was ugly was hot
Dude,
as fuck.
okay,
She was like,
Eternals has action and heart, Lana.
Get that
I've never seen Eternals.
Get
You say you did.
Get that movie out of my
I
fucking
didn't.
face.
No, I said I've seen all the memes and shit about it.
Alright, get the fuck out of here. Go watch Eternals.
What about Ant-Man and the Wasp? You like that movie?
No, yeah, well, Quantum Mania has heart and action.
Hell no, Quantumania don't have heart and it don't have action.
Yeah.
It has action. What are you
There's
talking about?
action.
It has action.
No,
There's
no,
action.
It's not action. I'm not some bargain bin bitch. I like good action, not just any piece of action that you can throw at me.
I know, it's almost like Lilo and Stitch 2002 had both put together in a very well packaged thing.
It didn't have nothing.
Damn, that sounds like an opinion of a bargain bin bitch.
Guys, we appreciate Lana for stepping in here. Again, we will have you on in the future. Thank you for your interesting take.
Yeah, this is why we couldn't have you in person. It would turn to like a WWE SmackDown.
If you said this in person to me, I would have been more depressed than I currently am.
I would like
Holy shit.
it wouldn't have been a 2-on-1. It would just been me beating you up with Brian. I would just be picking up Brian by the legs and slamming him on you like a blunt object.
It's like
That's why I love wrestling. That's why I love wrestling for years, because they have a lot of heart and a lot of action.
it's all fake. What are you talking about?
It just wasn't fake doesn't mean that it can't hit. You know.
It doesn't hit.
Hey, I put a lot of heart into my beatings, but there's a lot of heart in acting right now. Where's your location?
I love it. It's like soap opera with chairs to the face.
All right, where's your location? I'm about to show you a lot of heart in action right now.
Jesus.
With my fist. Don't take that the other way. That sounded wrong. All right, get out of here.
Alright.
That was the thing. That was the thing that happened. What were we talking about? Weren't we just talking about advertisement and shit?
No.
Did we get on the phone? I don't remember that. I don't remember anything.
We were going to get into discussing the differences between Lilo and Stitch 2025 and the original, but apparently there are no differences between the two. So
Yeah, so my opinion, it's not a lot of heart in acting. Alright. All right,
Anyway.
let's get into the new one.
So
I need to find out what kind of threat we're dealing with.
there's some standout things, but I've got one thing that I want to jump into first, and that's the very beginning of the movie. First things first. Like, we're not going frame by frame. That's not the point here.
We're not? I had every frame load up.
Fuck. But, the one way you can tell immediately that there's not going to be a lot of new, like, anything special about this remake is that there's no, like, Disney uses their same generic corporate intro.
I was about to get to that.
And
so, like, here's the...
But for everything now, like, at least the variant before would have unique takes, and even obviously in the 2000s, you had the classic intro of Lilo and Stitch that had its own variant. They don't do that at all anymore. They have no uniqueness anymore on their intro.
So I was about to... I was making a joke next to Lana. It's like, are these intros just like,
corporate product.
No, are these just like advertisements to go to Disney World or Disneyland? Because that's what they feel like. Because I was like, wow, this intro, like, I was making a joke to Lex and I was like, hey, wow, this intro really got me. Let's go to Disneyland.
It's because, look, the intro before was quicker. You remember the intro before? It's like, it was quicker. You'd still have the castle and everything, but it was quicker and cleaner. This literally is like, it's like a Disney hand job. It's like you go alongside the train, then you go up the fucking mountain that doesn't exist in any fucking Disney park. You go up the mountain to the castle, around the castle, fucking Tinkerbell does the fucking thing, around the thing, and then you fucking have the intro. It's very long, it's very tedious, and it's not as fun as the...
It feels like it's like advertising Disney World.
It's not. It feels like it's advertising that this is a giant corporate behemoth. That's what because whenever it goes up the fucking cliffside, it's like, look how big Disney is. It's not just a castle. It's a big fucking castle that's on top of a cliffside.
Also, a little side thing, I just noticed Pride Rock was in the background of this logo too. I was like, oh, Pride Rock, it's right there.
Yeah, it's like all the way in the corner. Doesn't make any sense, but it's all the way in the corner.
Was that always there?
It wasn't in the old the variant of like 2006.
Is there anything else in the back? Anything else in the back?
I don't give a fuck because this thing's corporate as shit. There's no taste. There's no.
So like I was expecting like
something.
a Stitch to be walking around. I
was hoping Stitch's rocket was going to be the thing that went up and around or something. Like, you know what I mean? Just something. But no, nothing. Like, what do we can't even have.
So when you got like a sci-fi-esque like version of the castle on the sci-fi screen or something like that, it was. I remember it was like, it wasn't a classic logo. It was like beep beep.
Like it's radar.
Yeah. I knew it was a different variant. When I was saying it was like, it wasn't the stock.
They didn't do stock exactly. They didn't just do typical.
Which is why Disney Plus can't change it.
Yes.
And like for the old ones that have the stock logo, they have to they can change it. Well, what's even funnier is they even put the logo in front of Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
Even though that's a Touchstone Pictures movie.
Yeah.
That they were too ashamed to make a Disney movie.
And you're talking about they put the new intro in front of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like
they did that like before Disney Plus. That was for like the 2007 re-release or some shit.
Right. Yeah. But no,
whatever re-release theater 3D re-release they had after Pirates when that logo was new.
It's just that again. It's the new intro. I was excited. I was like, oh, we're getting a new intro, kind of like we talked about with Marvel with the Thunderbolts. Like, but that one takes it's a short amount of time. This Disney intro, every time you see it, it is long. It's drawn out. It's fucking boring because nothing changes. Whereas again, the one before the Disney intro before this was, at least it was quick. At least you fucking got past the castle, you did the fucking thing, and then it's over. Like, this thing has its own fucking mini episode.
I think one of the coolest ones was like, even though I don't really care for I don't really like the movie itself, is like A Wrinkle in Time had a cool variant of that Disney intro.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I remember about that fucking movie, Disney intro.
Yeah, the 2016 Wrinkle in Time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, absolutely. All right, let's get out of the intro talk, because what I really wanted to talk about briefly was the beginning of this movie. Because we know, in live action, these movies do not do directing. There's no specialty.
Okay.
There's no specialty in live action directing.
This is gonna tie into my opinions on the beginning of this movie.
Right.
So I'm gonna be honest. I think like keep in mind I haven't seen the Jungle Book, so this opinion varies. The new Jungle Book.
Well,
but like
it's coming up on 10 years old, but yeah. No.
Yeah, but like I think this is definitely one of the better live action Disney movies for a specific reason. Because it doesn't drag on the original movie. It doesn't like because like the other movies, they want to extend it. They're immediately long. I think this one is like very digestible about how
20 minutes longer.
Yeah, it's only 20 minutes longer. And I think this one is very digestible about how it just goes through everything, even though it just goes through the beats.
I have a major disagreement in the fact that they seemingly speed run through.
That's it.
But no,
that's also it. Yeah.
So here's my issue: they speed run through the stuff.
I don't think it's good, but like I rather have that than like going on for too long for needless shit. If it was good shit, yeah, but like, I don't think none of these movies extend these in a good way. Like I don't like the way Lion King is extended. I don't like the way Aladdin is extended. And like the less said about the other movies, the better. Well, I also hear good things about Cinderella. I haven't seen Cinderella.
Well, there's good things about Beauty and the Beast.
I haven't seen the good ones actually.
There's good things about Beauty and the Beast. There's good things about Jungle Book. There's good things about people like Aladdin. I think it's.
I heard Beauty and the Beast was iffy.
I think Aladdin.
I hate the best ones is Cinderella and
well, Cinderella was before they really committed to this stuff.
I think Cinderella's like I know, but I heard it was like the first.
It's the first, but they weren't really. Jungle Book was the real. Let's do live action adaptation. Like Cinderella was a live action adaptation, but that was still in that old Disney style of like we're doing The Lone Ranger and we're doing John Carter and we're doing like that's from that era of Disney. Like,
I mean the technical first I guess is 101 Dalmatians.
Well, yeah, there's also that, right? Like if you want to really.
But that's all way back there.
Yes, that's turn of the century type energy. Yeah, but. Yeah, like, I look, I would prefer that you don't, because the way this movie treats going through the moments that are in the original movie is it speed runs through them almost in a disrespectful manner. The actors, when they go through their lines of reading them, do not treat them with care and compassion. They say the line, they get it done, and then we get a scene that's new that really is pretty much worse or doesn't add any value or is just it degrades what Lilo and Stitch as a movie is in general. Like it's at a loss is what this movie does for any of its references, and that's perfectly representative again in the introduction to the movie. Like the intro to me is one of my favorite parts of the original Lilo and Stitch. And again, like I was saying before, when we actually get to the live action stuff. They don't direct with any care or compassion. These are very generically directed, very much like we're doing the cheap way out in any directing. As long as we can get the CG character in there, we're good. But we're not making any real fucking risks, and we're not doing anything dynamic in our directing styles. And so the only chance that you have is in the true CG environment of space. That is the only time that we would have a potential chance of seeing something special when it comes to creative ideas. What we get instead is the place that is one of the most special and unique of Lilo and Stitch, when you're in this giant headquarters ship, this main ship, mothership here, and it's all colorful and it's bright in the original and it's interesting. It's like it's imaginative. In this movie, we speed run through all the stuff. It's extremely desaturated. And it's just unimaginative. They have a handful of the aliens that were in the original, and the way they go through these lines, you don't get to develop anything about the mothership.
All right, let's redo this intro in a respectful manner. So we're gonna start the space station, and the budget's capped, and it's capped, and get through. Speed up. Go to Hawaii. Cut to stock Hawaii footage, please.
There you go. And that's pretty much what it felt like. It's like that's what sucks. It's like okay, because again, They went through everything.
I know the editing is bad. The editing is not very good either.
We don't get, and the glaring issue of missing Gantu is clear and obvious. Also, because again, there's so much gravity to Gantu being there in the original, and then you have it here, and it's like, well, the Queen Leader, the Supreme Leader, is kind of having to run around like she has to oversee everything, which makes her look less like a leader and more like someone that's like because she's really giving people tasks in the original movie and doing a good job, and she doesn't have to move everywhere. And in this film, it's like she's got to do so much more that it's not. It kind of makes her lesser, but they promenade her, and it's weird. Like I don't, yeah, like that. But wanted to focus on that. What's up? My next point would have been characters. But what's something you want to bring up there, or did you have any thoughts on the space sequence outside of the fact that, like you said, they capped their budget and then they went to the next?
Yeah, they were speeding through. I mean, again, I agree. It is disrespectful for the original movie, but like as a sequence on its own, separated from the movie, I think again, it's just fine. That's why I say it's like it's. I'll say it's. I'm comparing like, turd to other turds.
I can't. I'm comparing
stinkier.
this to the original. I'm not going to compare
remake
to remake. I'm comparing remake to original because that's where the stars.
Well, the point I'm saying is I rather, if you're going to be disrespectful, at least do it quicker. Because yeah. You'll get through it quicker. Sorry.
But they didn't. It's still 246 compared to 220. I don't know, or it's 146 versus 120 or whatever.
Still quicker. I mean, the other ones, like Lion King is fucking long.
They don't. You keep saying they do. They don't. They compress shit. Yes, but then they add shit that makes it even worse. Thus making it still worse. It does, if you make something, if you compress and you still add stuff and it makes it worse, you're more disrespectful even.
Okay, so name me all the live action remakes you'd rather watch this over. That's not Jungle Book and Cinderella.
Like you said, what I'd watch this over?
Yes.
Not that are better than this.
Yeah, what would you watch over this? That's yeah.
I would still watch Beauty and the Beast over this.
I haven't seen that one. I heard iffy. Is that good or?
Again,
I love the original.
It's just that again they do the audio mix thing where it's like they have her sing, but then they.
I know those fucking pots and pans look ugly as shit.
But it gets it accurate. There's not a lot of. They don't do what they do here, which is they literally destroy characters. They don't destroy characters in Beauty and the Beast.
Oh.
Outside of that, let's see. What else have they made? They've done Lion King. They've done Little Mermaid. They've done.
I watched this over Little Mermaid easily.
They've done. Sure. Okay. I mean,
Snow White goes without saying.
But are they destroyed? But have they destroyed characters in Little Mermaid? Because I have structured notes of destroyed characters in this movie that make this unwatchable for me. Relationship dynamics and destroyed characters in this movie. That's my biggest issue. You might think that quality-wise the other movies are bad, and they are, but the destruction of character is my biggest issue.
Yeah, I guess I'd say the whole structure of Little Mermaid's like kind of... the freaking Aquafina... Whatever Aquafina replaced, that's bad. I don't think Sebastian... Flounder's not even there. He's a good character. He's not even existing.
Flounder's destroyed, yeah. Flounder's destroyed.
Flounder.
Aquafina's basically doing what the sequel does, but they added stuff, so you could say character diversion, essentially, with that character.
That was one of the few movies I actually had to walk out of, because, it's annoying. I already know how it's going to end. It's just, I can't do this.
Yeah. Okay. You would take that... You don't think that the ending of this movie is so destructive that it's still... You would watch this still over Little Mermaid? Even though how destructive of an end... I think the ending is so bad that it, Now, I'm not even talking about the Nani going to school. I'm talking about just how badly they completely, redid... They made their own outro for this movie, ending of the movie, that is so much worse.
No, because, that ending makes me mad. But, I'd rather be mad than annoyed and bored. That's why I had to walk out of Little Mermaid. I was annoyed and bored.
You weren't annoyed and bored by...
I was annoyed and mad. I'd rather be mad than bored.
Okay, so...
Bored is still fascinating and interesting.
But bored is neutral, whereas annoying...
But it's so boring. I don't want...
I understand. These are there's no net positive here.
It's nothing worth of a conversation to get out of being bored. There's something worth of a conversation to be angry.
I mean, I was bored at the end of this movie. I was bored at the end of this movie.
Bored and angry and
again,
annoyed.
just by comparing...
So there's multiple emotions there.
Sure. I think we're getting lost in the sauce. I think the bigger issue with this compared to other remakes that they've made, not that again I'm not comparing this to the remakes. I'm comparing this to Lilo and Stitch, which is they had source material. They have source material, and they extended this movie by 20 minutes. You have source material, and you still extended this movie by 20 fucking minutes, and you still destroyed characters.
I guess let me reword what I'm saying. Like well, I'm not trying to get back to the subject. I'm just saying I probably watched this live action garbage over the other live action garbage Disney has made.
That outside of the ones that you haven't seen yet.
That from what I hear are probably good. So
because I think
the ones I haven't seen, I think I've seen all the private.
I think Will Smith saves a chunk of Aladdin, but the rest of that movie is such dog shit.
It is, yeah, that's what you get.
So
and Lion King goes on for too long.
And again, there's no real.
A lot of the extra things.
There's no real. They don't really destroy characters in Aladdin. They just kind of follow suit. So again, we're back to that same thing. So let me explain what I mean. You have Cobra Bubbles, David, Jumba. They're all critically damaged. Like, I think Bubbles alone, like, is a perfect example of the entire.
Oh my god! So he's like an intimidating figure in the original movie, and like for some reason they chose to split him into two characters.
Yeah.
So
this whole sorry. So I want you to explain this, but I just want to explain here how nice of a character he was in the proceeding.
Before you go to that, also he's his character himself in the original is modeled after
Marcellus Wallace from Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Played by the same actor Ving Rhames back in the day.
Because apparently he's even wearing the same earrings.
Cool. That's cool. I didn't know that. But in the original, right? Like he worked for the CIA. He had interacted with aliens. He saved Earth by developing this false value to the mosquito population. And then after all that, he decided to take up social services and care for foster children or children that are in this safety net situation. Says a lot about his character back then. Like, says a lot about, like, this great guy that did so much.
And we don't learn about all that. We don't learn that much about him up front. He's just an intimidating force.
Yes. Yeah. But in this, go ahead and do this.
So, what this movie does is just takes away all stakes. They're like, we don't need tension, we don't need stakes, to the point where a lot of things don't make sense. So, like we said, Cobra Bubbles is replaced with he's been molded into two characters: CIA agent, and now there's a
Hawaiian woman.
Yeah, now for the social worker, there's this lady. There's this lady who's a social worker who just like looks after Nani and Lilo.
Yes.
And she's not an intimidating force. She's somebody who's nicer, and she's trying to work with them, and she's trying to help them, including him, and how to help the situation. And in terms of like the whole Stitch situation, she isn't concerned about that at all. It's not really a concern until Cobra Bubbles tries to insert himself in this situation. So there's no stakes on like the social services going after Nani.
They also slow the ticking clock, which was I believe 3 days. And now it's a week in comparison, and this movie does not show you the time presentation at all. So there's no that was another added sense of like stress on Nani in the original. And,
it doesn't feel like there's much of a ticking clock. It's like when when Nani has to get rid of Lilo, it just sort of happens.
Yeah.
It felt like it just sort of happens. And
by the way, you said you were talking about just in this sequence alone where you have the social worker come in for the first time. Like we talked about earlier, how they pace things. Like they did again. They go through this, but they go through it in a speed run version of how it was executed. And there's a lot of there's brevity to the original in how they go through every room. Nani's doing this and this, trying to clean things up, and then it's like the cookware and this and that, and then she chases Lilo through the house. It's like there's a brevity in the original. In this, it's all compact and quick. Like that stuff happens so fucking quick. It's like
it's again, it's what I'm saying, because Cobra is just like he's wearing sunglasses. You don't know what a man with sunglasses is thinking, and he's just like. He just has no patience for any of this shit. And it's just like, Lonnie is just like making it look worse and worse on herself. Like, oh, let's go through the back door. Hold on, can you stay right there? Do you want some tea? I don't want tea. with a new social worker, she's just like, she's more forgiving for all this, and it's like, I'll just go with the flow. Sure, I'll have some tea. Huh. Okay, that's weird. Look, Nani, you're not doing a good job here. And like Cobra Bell was like, you're doing an awful job. We were gonna take Lilo away. You got this much time to make this shit up. Get your shit together.
I think he does say. We do see him say like, "I see you're trying," but it's
Ving
Rhames. But it's Ving Rhames' delivery of it, where it's like, even if she has time, like he's putting that like foot down of like, come on, like get your shit together here, And again, there's moments here where it's like, again, I appreciate the idea of like, the new social worker says like, instead it's like, get health insurance, right? It's like, okay, that's nice, but like, it's like this movie and the writers of this movie wanted to take it out of the fantasy of, this is real life, but it's not real life. Guys, we don't have to, you're bringing up health insurance, like, you do really want us to be this depressed? Like, health insurance? Holy shit, like, I understand, like, that may be relatable for some people, but like, the thing about Lilo and Stitch is, the original is, again, it's grounded enough, but we don't need it to be like, fucking simulation level grounded. Like, oh shit, you gotta worry about, oh fuck, like, this is, it's still hardy enough that you're not going that far down the rabbit hole,
Yeah, well, the thing about it being a cartoon is you can excuse a lot of things because, like, it's more like, you can tell yourself it's more fiction. Because you're trying to, like, ground it, you question things even more.
Yes.
Like how Stitch is still put into a dog shelter even though this is, like, a nondescript creature that got fucking ran over.
But also, he's not even in a cage, he's in a pen that's not, it's weird. Like, again, the whole presentation, it's, like, kind of not, either way.
Because, like, for the original, it's like, that's not realistic. That's a fucking cartoon. I can excuse that. They just because they see Jumba and Pleakley in a cartoon. It's like, oh, that's just like weird looking people, in wigs and stuff. But like with Stitch, he's just putting it like this. This nondescript creature just got ran over. They just threw him in a dog shelter.
Yeah. And
it's like they still keep that in this movie. And it's like that still doesn't really make much sense if you think about it realistically.
No. Again, we talked about Bubbles, and again, like, because he's not in the movie really, he doesn't show up until like more toward the middle or second half of the movie. It's like, now that makes him less valuable, and then they don't even give him the shout out of the fact that he made out the mosquito thing. Like, they don't give him any of that credit in which is like, what are we doing? Why you don't get he's the one that tells Lilo, hey, don't forget about your adoption papers, which, by the way, again, they didn't even fucking write that in the fucking live-action movie for some reason, so you don't have that sequence. Like, he's there doing such a good job to assist here in moments and cover for not just Lilo, but for Earth in general. And then in this movie, it's just a trust stare. It's like, you can believe me. And you start looking at the Grand Counselor. It's like, what the fuck? Like, what is this? So, I mean,
because like, because like in the original movie, it's like, it's a really awesome reveal.
Yes.
Because like it's like this character is even cooler because he has some history with aliens.
Yes.
Because like he doesn't interact with the alien stuff at all, with the exception of Stitch himself, until we get into like the end of the movie where he's just there with the council people, and it's like, shouldn't he be freaking out about seeing this? And like, no, he's not, because for this specific reason.
Yeah, he's not.
He doesn't
freak out either, because Lilo calls him as her house is getting destroyed, and he's like, stay there, because I think he kind of gets a sense that something's up, because he's like, she says aliens, and he's like, he doesn't say, whoa, what? He says, stay right there, as in like, he's it's like, I think he kind of gets the sense like.
Did Leo say aliens?
Yeah, he said, there are two big aliens in my house in the original. There's two big aliens in my house, and they're trying to run after my dog. That's what she says. But Bubbles is, again, that's the first time you kind of get a sense of, it's like, well, rewatching it, I got a sense as an adult, like, oh, he's comfortable enough, because he's not shocked by it. He's not even like, whoa. On the other end of the phone line, you hear him say, stay right there. But she kind of leaves the phone because everything's fun.
I love that scene. It's okay, the dog's got a chainsaw.
It's like, yeah. Yeah. Punch Buggy.
I love that original. Because of that original movie, it's the reason I still climb into dryers. Kids these days don't know about climbing into dryers. They only know about climbing into pizza boxes. Fuck.
I still have so my VHS recording, my VHS tape is the older one, so of course it still has it. And it's like, I understand. Again, it makes sense that they did that. But again,
Oh, yeah.
I do like that the novelty is I have the original version, and that still has that. Like, I do like that it's still there.
I guess I have the DVD release, so it probably has that.
Oh, you got the DVD?
I watched it on Disney.
Did you watch it on Disney? But you watched it on Plus.
Yeah, because like even for all even though I'm a DVD collector, I have all these movies on DVDs.
Yeah.
If I have access to the stream version, I'm just gonna watch them on HD version on HD TV.
Yeah.
I just like the novelty of having it on DVD. Also, it's just in case the streaming service lose licenses. So.
It depends, right? Like if we're doing cartoon chat, then I'm watching it on. Usually, it's like the difference is if I'm watching it on for ScreenBlast or this live action to old comparison, I'll watch the classic. Or on cartoon chat, I'll watch obviously for a reference point on VHS or DVD for more information, and you have commentary and stuff. But if it's like we need to catch up on it for something like that's coming out, it's like I'll watch it on a streaming service if I have the streaming service.
No. For me, streaming service is a default. I just need the crisp HD version. I will go back to the original if there's special features on the disc.
Cool. Moving on, I want to go over to David. In this movie, all his role is that he has a crush on Nani. That's it. So I'm setting it up here for this, right? This guy in the original, he's a true family friend. He has his heart set on Nani, but he's there for her when she needs.
And we learned about he's not perfect. He's a klutz. He's the one that sets the stage on fire.
He's very skillful, but he's a klutz. And again, but he senses when Nani needs to pick me up. He's there for her, and he's just waiting for that moment when she's he's there for them as a family. And that's really presented well in the Hawaiian roller coaster ride sequence, right? Like, that's where you see this moment where he rises to the occasion and he's really there for them, like in this moment where Nani's feeling very depressed. She's feeling like, man, I'm kind of in this shit situation. And he knows that surfing is her everything, and that, in terms of comfort level, here, let's have some fun with Lilo all together. Like, let's do this as like in a family atmosphere style. And it's a beautiful thing. Like, it gets her mind off of it for a second, and it just is a good momentous thing to do. But in this movie, again, they awkwardly just kind of shove him in. Like, the first time we see him, he's randomly in the driveway next to Nani's neighbor. And then even in the scenes, like, they take him mostly out of the scenes that he was standout in the original. Again, the Hawaiian roller coaster ride sequence, he doesn't show up till the end. In the fire trolling thing, he's not really doing that. Like, so it's like, where the fuck? What are we doing? What? Like, this guy is great. Like, there's no reason to subtract him. But it's as if they said, all right, we can't have, and I'm going to be honest, it's as if they said, we can't have Nani rely on a man. Because every support system for Nani is non-male. Like, I'm not trying to go that direction, but literally, it's like as if, like, David was just there for that sort of, just for that safety and for that security, just in some light senses.
Well, like, she wasn't relying on a man in the original. It's like,
she wasn't, but I'm saying, like,
oh, no, I'm adding to your point, but, like, she wasn't even relying on men in the original, because, like, David was just to show, like, how occupied Nani is with trying to take care of Lilo, because she can't really do things like go on dates with David, because, like, David throughout the movie is trying to ask her out. Nani has to put him down because, like, not because she's not into it, because, like, she has to take care of Lilo and keep her life together with his job and stuff.
Exactly.
And, that's the whole point of the movie, which this movie just throws it all away. So, like, okay, so the biggest character, the worst character in this movie, not by character, like, not the character itself, but, like, what they are, their placement in the story, is the old lady. Do we have her name?
I don't have her on, but it's just the old lady. It's just the neighbor. It's the neighbor that's, I mean, I don't, sure, you're doing the research. I don't, in this live action variant, I could give a fuck. So,
Tutu,
Okay.
Amy Hill, but like she's played Amy Hill. I think her name fucking Amy.
Right.
Amy Hill, but like the Amy Hill's character, she's a safety net. She's like a safety net to the story because she's the one that takes care of Lilo while
I was going to get to that with Nani, because that's more about the fact that all of Nani is deconstructed here in many ways through having this safety net character that does a lot of what Nani does.
Yeah, she's the one that takes her to like the animal shelter to adopt a dog, and like so my thing about throughout the whole movie, because she exists, it's like just leave her. And it's like Nani's busy. She's too busy to, cause like what they added to this one is that Nani, like the whole hula recital is in front of an audience. And Lilo's expecting Nani to be there, but she can't show up. So that's one of the reasons she act up. So it's like, why doesn't the old lady go there to see her? Or whenever she's in the house alone before the social worker gets here, why doesn't the old lady pick her up? Why doesn't why doesn't Amy Hill like show up around the social service to make everything look better? Like why doesn't? And they're right next door when we found them.
Well, again, because Nani wants to carry that again, because the movie makes Nani carry this weight with adding this safety net that's not being used, essentially.
Yeah,
so
I would probably excuse it a bit if she doesn't end up with her at the end anyway. So it's like you could have used her throughout the entire movie, and it's like it kind of would excuse the movie. Period.
Well, again, it's to drive home the point that Nani goes to school and all that. We'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, but going back to David, like, there's moments where, again, like a couple other pieces, like the moment where, again, he understands the family dynamic. Like you said, he gets a sense of the original. He understands the family dynamic.
And like it's cool. He has even a cool scene during the sympathetic moment where it's like, he's like, everything was cool until you came along.
That's what's going to bring up. Exactly. And they rip half of that out of the new one for some fucking reason. Everything was going good. And he doesn't get to say the fucking line that it was until you showed up. I don't understand why the fuck you ripped that out. Because what, you think that's too harsh? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, it was hard. It was harsh, but it was blunt. Because it's honest. I don't like, but they ripped that second half of that quote out of the movie, which doesn't make any sense. It was such a stupid decision. And then at the end of the movie of the original, it's like, it's a beautiful kind of, it's a storybook love ending where, it's like it works out for both of them, for Nani, and again, David's there for her as well. But in the end, we see that Lilo mentions to Nani when she's coming through the portal, hey, you have a poster of a bunch of guys on your wall. Like, is that supposed to mean that she's having fun in college? Like, now that's a whole thing? Like, fuck, goddamn it, you can't even have... Because David's nothing by the end. Like, he's not even...
Yeah.
He's visually not even there at the end. So it's like, this whole concept of this cool thing that was beautiful in the original is now completely destroyed, collapsed. Again, talking about someone that said these two are the same, fuck that. Like, that's a whole thing that sucks. I was going to talk about Jumba, but I think we can jump to Nani real quick. Again, this movie...
Nani and Jumba has the biggest arcs in this movie compared to the original.
This movie, again, the difference with Nani here, Nani does a great job. Her character is great with subtlety in the original. It's fantastic. Their expression, through whatever. It's all of it. It's great. Like, and there's perfect examples of that. The hammock scene in the original is a perfect example. It's so valuable in the original because this is it. She knows it's over. There's no way. She can't get a job. It's fucked. And she's searching for the words to say, because she's got Lilo up there. They're sitting across from each other, and she's searching for the words. She's like, she's almost got tears in her eyes. She's searching for the words to say. It's a beautiful moonlit night, and she ends up finding the words in this beautiful, soft chorus of a Hawaiian song. It's one of many subtleties that her character has in the original. You want to know another example? We see Lilo's personality comes from Nani pre-parental loss in the original, because there are moments, just subtle moments in the movie, when she gets fired from this luau spot that David burns the top off of. When Lilo is about to fucking feel depressed about, potentially making her lose her job. Nani comes out of the blue and says, like, nah, I didn't get fired. The fucking manager, dude, he's a fucking vampire. And you have no idea, but he leads this fucking army of the undead. He's a psycho, man. And it gives Lilo something to bounce off of, boosts her positivity, and she says, I fucking do it. And you can sense that probably that was Nani pre-responsibility, that she could bounce off that energy, give Lilo something to have fun with, and that was their camaraderie, and that's part of what makes Lilo Lilo. In this movie, not only is that hammock scene, it's gone because there's no subtlety. She tells Lilo 17 times, we're gonna get split up. And guess what? We're getting split up right fucking now. I like
her as a sister than I do a mother.
It's like, we're getting split up. Like, there's no attempt to hide anxiety from Lilo, which puts the weight more on Lilo. And it's horrible. It's horribly written. Like, it's like, what the fuck are we doing? We lose these moments. And, it's like we lost so much from this relationship. And, again, like, the ways that that Nani discovers things. One of the most depressing moments is not just that hammock scene, but it's also like when the aliens are fighting inside the house, it's being destroyed, and Nani has this one big piece of hope, by the way, from David, who's still helping her out, finds her a job, and she's got that job. She comes out of the fucking store, she sees a fire engine drive by, and she's like, don't make that fucking turn.
I think about that every time I think about that every time a fire truck is driving around my area, don't turn left, don't turn
But where did you get it from?
Lilo and Stitch, because of that movie every time.
Because it's genuine.
Yeah.
But in the movie, it's like, we don't even get that. It's like, because it's all happening over here, and Nani's not over here, and it's like, what the fuck are we doing?
One of the few good jokes in this movie is that Lilo calls the pizza services because that's the only number that she has that she has around.
Yeah, instead of during the fight, right?
Yeah.
Instead of Bubbles, because she doesn't trust Bubbles, because again, the way that Bubbles is
not a character to her.
He's not a character to her.
They only met once.
Yes.
And he's not even acting like a social service.
That's the other thing. It's like
he goes immediately to Stitch and Lilo.
He's so uncomfortable in his. It's so weird that he can't even present as a social worker, but he is that's the thing is he is actually a social worker. He's just in the original. He is a social worker in the original.
Yeah.
And instead, in this movie, it's like it's played off like he's CIA, and for some reason, it's like they don't explain the movie because the other social worker says that he's the lead guy, but then he's also CIA chasing after an alien. So it's like, what is he? Because he's not both in the original. He's not both in the original. He's become a social worker. He's become a social worker in the original. In this one, he's doing both for some dumbass reason, and Lilo can see right through it because again they make him a bumbling buffoon.
Which they even need to make him a social worker. Because he has no concern about the whole family dynamic between Lilo and Nani. Yeah. He's just there.
Yeah.
Because and when they said because I thought earlier in the movie when the social worker says they're getting a new director next week, I thought Cobra was already a social worker.
Exactly.
But no, he becomes one because he was I'm just gonna go undercover now.
It's like that just lessens everything, yeah. And again, that house destruction sequence, getting to Jumba, because again, Pleakley is Pleakley, and again, what they have them do here is the duo, it's.
Well, first thing, I was so because I didn't look up any I didn't look up much trailers besides the first one.
Yeah.
I was so thrown off when Jumba spoke. I was like, because I just watched the original, I was like, that's not a Russian accent.
I don't know why they made that decision. I'll be honest with you.
And it's not needed, but it's still, Jumba is iconically Russian, and this is
it's not. He has the Russian accent.
He's one of the most iconic Disney characters. It's like if you make a Goofy movie now, because I know they're going to originally, but give Goofy an everyday man's voice.
It's also
they were going to originally do that with the first Goofy movie, but like if they did that now,
but there was also so much more care, even in like you look at every other live action adaptation, like outside of maybe Aquafina, as the fucking seagull, and it's like everything else has been cast to align with the voice acting of the originals. You know what I mean? Like everything else.
There's been similar, like Scar is no longer flamboyant. That's a difference.
No, but he's still voicing like Jeremy Irons.
Yeah,
he's still doing that. And the toucan, who is John Oliver, is still voicing.
Fun.
He's still voicing like like those guys. And Timon and Pumbaa are different voice actors, but their energy and vibe is still much similar in voice acting to their original counterparts. This doesn't make any fucking sense because he doesn't sound like himself at all. And again, I think it's rightfully deserved that there's a lot of people like, why the fuck did you change his voice? Or why didn't you put the effort in to just have him speak Russian? Was it because you thought it was negative that Russia's in a war? Russia's always in a fucking war, guys. Like, sorry, don't know what to tell you. Like, is that insensitive that we can't just have a voice of a fucking Russian-sounding voice? Like, that's not a bad thing.
Oh no, Russian accent is not offensive. They just didn't want to do it.
No, I know, but it's just like I'm just trying to think like, why would Disney, this corporate fucking entity, think, oh, let's lazily string this along? Maybe it was just laziness.
Because they just want to make him a different character, I guess.
Yeah.
Because he is
a completely different
character. Yeah.
Yeah. In the original film, again, so here's another funny thing, right? Like, in the original film. Again, I love so much about the space stuff. It's one of my favorite parts. In the original film, we never see what ship Jumba and Pleakley used to get to Earth. And then, like a Jaws reference, in the end of the movie, we get this fantastic reveal where this giant ship, because Gantu's huge, so it's like, all right, he's got a ship. Whatever, we're chasing after him, but what are they going to be flying in? And it's this beautiful, massive ass fucking space, this red, cool looking thing, and it's like this fun chase sequence, and it's beautiful.
That was at last minute.
Sure, whatever, but in reality,
you already know the original scene, right?
You're talking about what, the chase scene?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying that we never see it in the beginning. We never see it throughout the movie until the end.
I know, no.
Even with the September 11th stuff, yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay.
No,
yeah,
I know, but I'm saying it still was at the end.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm saying that reveal is forever cool as shit. It's like, it comes out of the clouds, lifts up out of the clouds like Jaws, and it's right after, right behind Gantu's ship. Cool as shit. First 15 minutes were spoiled. Like, first 15 minutes, and it doesn't even look good. And I'm like, fuck, we can't, like, dude, come on.
Here's the thing I always think about these live-action, like, Disney remakes. It's like, so, because they're pretty much, if they're going about these movies a second time, I assume, like, hey, this is their chance to include some things they couldn't include in the first one, so, like, maybe some deleted scenes, or maybe some more stuff from the old mythological stuff, from the old original mythology.
Yes.
Like, the original Aladdin had the Genie of the Ring and the Genie of the Lamp. Hey, we can include that in the new Aladdin, right? No, we're going to follow the blueprint of the original. This movie has like a couple of deleted scenes that are like interesting. Like, there's one of like Lilo, like somebody pointing out Lilo, like, hey, look, because it's making fun of tourists. And it's like they pointing Lilo, like, hey, it's one of the natives, or
shit,
or like of course the 9/11 one where it's like they hijack a plane and it's flying through downtown Hawaii.
Yes.
And that sequence, it's cool, but like, you can understand they could not have that there for around the release.
What happened 6 months ago?
Inside was a cool sequence. Like, they made this.
I still think what we get is this cool looking Hawaiian vehicle that doesn't really make sense in the grand scheme of how would they have gotten this from the mothership, but it doesn't matter because I thought it's like,
oh yeah,
the final product is a cool looking ship.
I think it should have been combined both because like I do like them flying through downtown Hawaii.
Oh yeah,
because like the whole point of like Stitch wanted to get to the city, he finally got there, but he's not focused on that.
Right.
But like
absolutely, that's a good point.
Yeah, but like it's but like they can finally do that, but like because they're not even, I forget this is a Disney Plus movie, they're not trying to focus on budget. It's like it's shit.
Well, the whole, because again, when I was going to talk, we were going to talk ending, but this could just kind of decouple with that. Number one, before we get to the ending, though, I do want to talk Jumba a little more. I do think, again, he's a different character, right? Like you said earlier. Again, like, this guy does not want to hurt the humans at all. And I know he says, like, it's like, I'm going to do it my way, but even when he does it his way, it's like he goes into the house, but he's not. He just wants Stitch. That's his whole thing. Don't get in his way, but he just wants Stitch. He's not in any way trying to hurt Lilo, and the change-up is ridiculous. Like, the idea that he would just destroy the house to destroy the house doesn't even make any... There's no logical... Even if he's a mad scientist, it's like, the way that he was destroying the house, it was like, when the first few shots started firing off the live action, I'm like, he's just firing at the roof for no reason. And it's like, this isn't even fun. There's no fun. Like, it was unfortunate that the fight happened at the house in the original. It's unfortunate.
And, like, they should know, because there's people who are, like, attached to, like, the whole franchise as a whole. We, as, like, people who are going to see this because we already love Stitch. And, it's not new. Like, you can assume this is new to some people. Probably fucking kids.
Well, that's the thing, is this is the standard for kids now.
Yeah, but, like, their moneymaker is the nostalgia for people who come back to see this. They should know we have an attachment to Jumba. So, why are you trying to, like...
Destroy him?
Yeah, just, like, because, like, that scene where he's just destroying everything, it's like, why is he doing this? What the fuck is he doing this for? He's destroying all their, like, belongings and stuff. And it's, like, it's supposed to be treated as, like, yeah, you hate this character. You hate him. You want to see him get it, right? Like, no. Now I want to see him come around because I like Jumba. Stop!
I want to see your camera fix itself. That's what I want to see. Just sit there for a couple.
Censored.
Sit still. There you go. You want to see Jumba? Go ahead.
Yeah, but yeah, I want to see Jumba like turn. I'm waiting for him to just like turn good or something like that. Just like because like I said with like when Lana was talking. I don't know if we got that on
not over here. Not when she was over.
Oh yeah, but like Jumba is like we were talking about, but like Jumba is a mad scientist. He's not evil. He just likes chaos.
No.
Which is why like such a great funny moment in the movie is like when he's grabbing Stitch and it's like, you want me to help? Yes. Okay. Like you're gonna help like that. It's very persuasive.
It's gold.
Yeah.
It's adorable, but it's
these characters are adorable. They're awesome. And like it ties into like this whole meat.
And by the way, Jumba and Pleakley help, not just because Stitch, but like first it's like Nani's like there, but like Nani's with them as well. So it's an all hands on deck team thing. You know what I mean? Like on that ship.
And it's like the logic for them is that like they got fired, so they don't actually have to listen to the council.
Right.
So because that's why Jumba's like, we're fired. That means you do things my way.
Yep.
And you can understand their logic up to like just to like not bring Stitch back, and it's like, well, they are fired. Yeah. So what the fuck does this matter to anybody?
Yep.
And the whole theme of the movie is family. Ohana means family. Nobody gets left behind. And by the end of the movie, like fucking every cast member besides Gantu is just a part of this newfound family.
Exactly. And it's beautiful. It's like they're cool, and it's a nice way to wrap it. Again, and they're helping rebuild together. Like, and it's not the again, like I think, what is it? Pleakley in the live action variant, is he helping them rebuild? I don't remember.
He's there,
but like he's not really. But like in the original, it's the core characters that we see that had helped at the ending that are rebuilding. Here, it's like, it's a bunch of, again, I'm not saying it's bad, but it's a crew of Hawaiian people helping.
It's realistic.
And it's like, okay, like, but that's not, like, that's fine, but it's like, you're missing the point, the whole point, the family point. Like, which again, let's get to the, again.
Also, okay, so I just want to say, Lilo, the girl plays, she plays them correctly.
Yeah.
Lilo, which is surprising for a child actor.
That's why, again, there's no, in terms of reviewers, that I've seen post the movie, no one is assaulting the acting of Lilo here, because not only do you have to act against a CGI creature, but you also have to act according to what Lilo is, which is incredibly difficult for someone under the age of 10. Like, so props to her. This movie is not a flawed movie because of her. She's doing everything accurately. It's the presentation of this movie that is fucking horrific.
I don't know if they plan on making a sequel, but they gotta make it quick because Lilo's supposed to be a little girl.
Well, now, I mean, this is a live... They're going to do the Mufasa thing, where this doesn't have to be 1-to-1. We can make our own sequel.
Lilo and Stitch, the college years.
Yep. So, talking about that, I want to talk about the ending here. I think the ending, briefly, like, everything from Jumba taking...
Oh, by the way, sorry, just like, before we get to the ending.
Yeah.
There's Elvis there, but no fascination with Elvis.
That
was so cool.
Again, the soundtrack and the way that
It's
Elvis
there.
way that Elvis is
background.
used in the original is great. But even the Hawaiian songs, like notably again, Hawaiian Roller Coaster Ride is done horribly, is executed horribly here because again, Nani is now not using that. It's not being used as a familial moment to de-stress. It's being used as a moment for her to be working. She's working with a bunch of random adults on learning how to surf, and then later on, Lilo joins in to surf, and Stitch, by the way, only wants to surf not because in the original movie he sees the familial bond of Lilo surfing with with David and Nani, and in this movie he sees a dog on a surfboard, and that's why he wants to fucking surf.
And that shouldn't convince him because his character he's scared of fucking water.
Yes,
he will do anything he can to like get away from water, but like. This person he's been in the original movie, this person he's been bonding with the whole time is having an enjoyable moment, all this fun, and like he wants to spend that time with her, and it's like, well, I guess I see you having fun doing this, so I want to do this with you.
Yeah. Again, I think,
and like also you can see it in the background because David, Nani, and Lilo are like having fun with sandcastles and stuff, and he's trying to mimic that himself. And like no one's paying attention. He's just all his lonesome. It's like, yeah, let me just. I want to be with you guys. I want to be a part of that.
Right.
And you don't get any of that here.
And by the way, again, this is what surprises. What is it? Not Gant. Jesus Christ. This is what surprises fucking Jumba and Pleakley, because again, they're like, this is not only is this not in this programming, but what the fuck is he doing? Like, you're putting yourself at risk for the sake of this idea.
And the movie also plays because the movie also plays like the development of Stitch so fascinating because it plays him as a confused creature, and it's like it is fascinating to see how confused he is, and like even like Jumba is confused, like when he just like makes a city out of like books and stuff.
Yes.
And he's trying to destroy that, and Jumba's like, what the fuck he's doing? He's just like watching this, and he's like he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing anymore. And the whole metaphor with the ugly duckling about like what's so fucking cute,
yes.
And it's like the ugly duckling is like he's trying to find he doesn't have his family. He's trying to shout in the woods that he's lost.
Yep.
And like so, Stitch, because he noticed the family is broken, and even David is like, yeah, fuck you fucked everything up, and like he noticed that the family's just like breaking apart. He just goes off like, I guess this is not my family. I'm gonna go find a family, and like Lilo was like, because like she already had this talk with, she just came from a heart to heart with Nani, and it's like, you can leave if you want.
And by the way, the way that it's structured is so horrible again in live action, where again but everything about that, like not only that, but because the ugly duckling sequence is gone, or it's not there. Yeah, it's not there. Right? It's
not there at all.
And so at the end of the movie, when he says the thing, it's like it doesn't fucking. This is hollow. It's broken.
Lilo doesn't fucking reach out on books.
Right. So it's like this doesn't fucking fit. There's no. That's not there.
But like going back to the original, it's like again, it's so fucking cute that Stitch he goes out to the woods by himself and he's like just lost, and then like the only person to hear him out is. And to show up is Jumba, and he's like,
yep.
he's running away from Jumba the whole time, but this time he's trying to get Jumba a chance. Like Stitch is lost, and Jumba's like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, that's a good way to perceive it. Yeah, yeah. I just hate so much about the ending. So many things about the ending. Again,
None of that in the live action movie, by the way. I was describing the old.
No, this is all classic. But in the live action, I hate so much about so Nani makes the decision very early, that this is happening, that this is gonna be gone. Like, again, in the original movie, David gives her a tip, which is great, and she's so optimistic, and she's zooming to do this, and all of that. In this movie, she is like, alright, cool, we're gonna be separated, and I'm like, she's not cool with it, but they have her...
Back to her college life! No kids! Sign me up!
But they have her go up the stairs alongside the off-brand Bubbles and the social worker, and it's played for emotion, but it sucks. It's this is dog shit. What are we doing? There's no gravity here, at least in comparison to the original. I think people that haven't seen the original in a long time, or people that are just seeing Lilo and Stitch in this variant, might think that's heart. That's not heart. This is dog shit. So, yeah. And then, again, we get that's the alien fight afterward, all that stuff. But,
it just makes it very... The whole movie pointless, because there was, no stakes at all to this family dynamic, and it's it's the whole point of the movie is everyone telling Nani, hey, just give Lilo, you can't take care of Lilo, you can't take care of Lilo, you can't take Lilo, and Nani comes to terms is you're right, I can't take care of Lilo. Here, I'm gonna go to college.
And yeah,
I shouldn't try to be a single mother. I shouldn't try to be a sister.
It's not even a single. It's just don't even be it. And again, I could see the people that think this is a good ending, because again, in the real world,
I haven't heard this argument yet.
In the real world, this is the best thing for you to do. Make some money, or I'm sorry, get after it at school, get a career, make some money, and then come back and see Lilo after all that. All right, I get that. That's the real situation. But that's not Lilo and Stitch. That's not Nani and Lilo. That's not the character. It's as if the writers said, we need real shit in our movie, as if it's not real enough. Again, I'm in this movie for fantasy, but also slight relatability. I don't need dour and depressing to the point where healthcare costs are so fucking high, and I'm trying to get away from there's a window where we're going too far. You get what I mean? And that's what this movie does, is it goes too far in the other direction of, Nani's got to understand that back taxes are real, and health insurance is real, and car insurance is real, and it's no, there was responsibility there, but it wasn't the same responsibility that was in 2002 was in 2025.
Don't they already have a struggle with money? So she's going to college debt too now?
And again, they don't explain. It's all again, I don't know. But what I do know is, again, the whole ending of that, I can understand some people saying that's good.
Also, I remember when this movie was coming out, something I was hoping for was they make use of the added lore for Stitch, and so I was I wanted them to be a mention of experiments existing in this world, but they did it, but not the way I wanted to. It just doesn't really make sense in the context where Jumba is yeah, I'm gonna turn you into 6'2".
That was so fucking. That was the worst reference ever. Because it's what do you mean you're going to turn him into?
I'm gonna turn you into 6'2", and it's that's not how. That's not how the experiments work. Can you see the other experiments?
They're fucking
but it's not mentioned you made them before, and you can just turn Stitch into the other ones, I guess.
This was worse than the fucking Justice League or Batman v Superman doing all that put it in a file. You know what I mean? Open up the files and see all the fucking references. It's also, this was horrible.
There's something I can believe that can easily make sense is because he wants him to turn to 6'7" because so he can be more destructive, and he can be unstoppable and take over the Galactic Federation. Stitch should already be that. All you probably have to do is just erase his memory. So the plot should have been oh, I'm just gonna erase your memory so you can be a destructive force.
Right.
Because, I mean, even if you think about continuity-wise, 627 was made because Jumba was, and it was an episode when Stitch was, Jumba was fucking salty that Stitch was just being like a fucking, asshole, cause he was being, like, cocky about everything because, yeah, I'm the most powerful experiment. I'm the ultimate life form. And it's like, fine, I'm gonna make an experiment even more powerful than you are. I made 67. Because he's salty, and he ended up getting destroyed by the end because they couldn't keep him around for that series. He's too powerful. Like they can't have him like Gantu catch him or anything. That's why Leroy and Stitch was 628.
Well, now it's probably gonna be in the sequel. We know that much. But yeah, I think again, like
I don't know what they're gonna do because there's no fucking Nani or anything, and it's like
I just know that again, like I haven't even gotten to really the ending, but like the ending is just so reworked because again, Gantu's not here, and it's horrible. Again, you got this 10-minute sequence of Jumba taking Stitch and Lilo, and it's done horribly. Like the direction's bad, all of it's bad. Like, Stitch, Lilo gets out, or Lilo's in the main ship or whatever, and then shit goes wrong, and then the ship just crashes, and then you keep cutting back to a caravan of cars zooming behind the ship or whatever, and then it's all for they wrote it in a way so that Nani has something to do because they made Nani basically have to do everything and nothing at the same time. Like that's what the ending is. The ending of this movie where she walks on sand was to give Nani something to do because again you took out all of the family moments with Nani for the most part.
Just going back, like it's the original movie's never about like sci-fi gadgetry. Never much about that. It's not much about sci-fi gadgetry, but like if they're gonna add more sci-fi gadgetry, they can do more than just like like the only sci-fi gadgetry that has is disguises.
And the teleporter.
And the teleporter.
The wasted toy.
The portal gun. That doesn't really make sense because at some points it works like the portal gun from the Portal games. You know the Portal games, right?
Of course.
Yeah. Or like you shoot one portal and you shoot the next one, and those portals like connect. But sometimes it works like the rings from the Sonic movies, where you think of a place and it goes there somehow. Because that's what Nani uses at the end too, and it's like, we're supposed to shoot one portal to a completely separate location? And it's like, it somehow works in the beginning too when like they Jumba and we accidentally shoot a portal where it works in front of the ice cream guy.
Yeah.
Which I get that's a reference joke, but it's still not funny.
Again, he's the guy
who drops his ice cream.
They also didn't make him a tourist; they made him a Hawaiian. Which again, it's like use it however you want, but like I think you it's not a waste either way. But it's like the joke's not executed well. Even the framing of it isn't done well. Like they zoom in because like they zoom in on it instead of like it's a wide shot, and then it's like a close shot. They don't know how to frame shit because they do this shit so generic.
Also, that whole aspect of the tourists and Lilo and Stitch it was fascinating because like what Lilo does is she does the parallel of like what the tourist does because she takes the tourists. When tourists go to places, they take pictures of everything. Lilo does. She takes pictures of the tourists and hangs them up on their wall on their wall.
Yes.
And that's fun. That's funny. Like the fun thing that showcases how weird she is.
Yes. Was it in this movie? I don't fucking remember.
It was in the original movie. No, it's not in this movie at all.
Yeah, I was like, because I don't remember that.
They just showcase about like how mischievous she is. She's just mischievous. She like lets chickens out. She goes to
I was like, what?
She goes through back of hotels. She goes through employee entrance. She goes to places she's not supposed to.
Which again, they drew out again, like we talked about before. It's like some stuff. Again, like we talked about several times here. Some stuff they reference, they speed through the stuff they want to reference, and they couple it to something they want to add or they want to change that is worse or doesn't make it better. Like, what does the chicken thing do?
Yeah, we still have Pudge. We still have Pudge, the fish that controls the weather in this movie.
Yeah, and if you're gonna bring the chickens in, have her say something about not just free the chickens, but like one of the chickens is actually my friend, and we were like but have it so that it actually means something valuable. not just
like make her a weirdo instead of just mischievous, like not like like a mischievous like problem child.
You said
like,
punch the fish.
Yeah, because like another thing they could have brought in because it deleted scene in the original movie is like well they don't have to bring in the whole scene because the original scene is like Pudge Lilo's bringing Stitch to Pudge and Pudge acts and Stitch acts against was fighting with Pudge with the sandwich and a bunch of birds go after Pudge and accidentally kills Pudge.
Fuck.
But like that scene, what the part of the scene that could be brought in is like, Lilo mentions like drops some lore in that deleted scene where like, apparently the reason she like
she feeds the fish.
She feeds the fish is because her parents died in a weather storm.
Yes.
And it's like you could have brought that into the new one.
That would have been.
It's like
because they again
you're doing a second like chance at this movie again. It's like. Bring in some stuff you couldn't do before.
And you've referenced it already in a very lazy way, by the way. Again, the way that they
brought it up why their parents died?
No, I mean, but they did the whole, Pudge controls the weather. But again, they have her do it. But again, it's like they speed through these things. They don't have. There's normal human pausing in the original where she says it. Pudge controls the weather, and then the instructor stops for a second. Here, it's like, it's all zoom, 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 zoom. So it's all like, you don't
it's more of like a pause. Huh? Silence joke. In the original, it was like, because Pudge controls the weather, and Moral's like, you're weird. And Lilo starts throwing hands!
That's right.
And it's like, you're not supposed to side with Moral, but you can understand, like, no, Lilo is also a problem. Cause Leo's the one that also starts shit. Moral just called her weird. She just starts throwing hands. In this movie, Moral's the one that starts shit. She's like, just push her with the hips, and Leo's like, fuck you. She just pushes back.
I guess the people slipping would have been too fucking. I don't know why they didn't have people slip. Was that like a problem? Did they think that was difficult? Could they not have kids act like they were slipping? Was that a problem? Because like. The pushing is like, I think, it's like, I don't understand, I just don't, weird. I don't know why they would, if you're not going to include the reason why the water's on the ground, because she does slip for a second when she picks herself up, it's like, but it's not as big a deal. I don't know. Yeah. But, so, again, I think, not again, but we're pretty much wrapped up on most of this stuff on my end, at least. One of the core last things is, don't end your movie with a dramatic 5-minute long-ass scene as if Stitch is going to die. Because he's not going to fucking die because he's Stitch. Okay? We all know he's not going to fucking die. So having him sit there in the water for more than 3 minutes, runtime, as if he's going to die, it's fucking stupid. And you should be ashamed of yourself if you thought that was a smart idea.
It was not suspenseful at all. Because it's more suspenseful that like to imagine like Lilo is drowning, but like they already used that earlier in the movie.
Yes.
Which also that cut sucks so much. Oh, because you're thinking about the original movies, like Lilo's drowning and they're trying to like bring her back, themselves.
Yes.
But like in this, it's so weird. It's like, okay, Lilo almost drowned. She cut to in like a hospital waiting room, and it's like. For some reason, this feels out of place in this world.
Well, there's two things, right? So what sucks, number one, she gets pulled by Stitch, who gets pulled by Jumba, who originally, who was also,
it's where they come in a speedboat.
But here's the thing, right? In the original, it's like, it feels like she's getting pulled for like a mile down, or a long distance down. The way they shoot it here, she's like a foot away from the water, and I understand people drown in like puddles, but like, it's like she gets pushed and Stitch gets pushed awkwardly like in a sideways angle that doesn't make any fucking sense. Because like they shot it in such shallow fucking water that the camera crew was like just slightly below, so it's like, alright, we can't kick him down because the camera crew's right there, so kick him to the side or whatever. And
also, in the original movie, I'm just gonna fuck about that dog, Lilo and Stitch, because like when they're underwater, Stitch is holding on to Lilo's leg, and Nani's saving Lilo. Nani like kicks Stitch's head.
Yeah.
He said, "Get the fuck off my sister."
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like it's like, and then there's force to it because again, all that Nani knows and wants is for Lilo to be okay.
And David's the one that saves Stitch, and he's like, "Yeah, get her dog."
Right.
And even though Milani has like they're trying to establish that she has skills as like a swimmer.
Well, they have her be a surfer doing instruction.
But even then, I'm like, just make David go after her. He's still the muscle.
But again, and they also don't bring David in until he really is needed in that moment, when he was critical in the original, in that point. Isn't the fucking social services person there right there too? I know Bubbles is like in the.
She's in the hospital.
But like, yeah, like
yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's so again, it's like fucking Christ. And again, like the whole. Do we really want to like? Why even make this movie about healthcare? Like, it's so fucking depressing. Like, everyone's dealing with actual stressors that, like, again, Lilo and Stitch, the 2002. Yeah, healthcare was a thing. All right, okay, but like, we didn't make that the fucking core reason.
Well, the thing is, it shouldn't really, unless it's like you actually insert into the story. You really shouldn't include it in because you're not supposed to think about that because. While Lilo is in a hospital, I'm thinking about, okay, can they afford this? Are you not going to bring it up, movie? Okay, then you should have brought up the healthcare. What the fuck?
Right, you brought it up, and then you just get past it, and it doesn't affect the end.
I'm sure this treatment is expensive.
Right, or I mean, I don't know what she had to get, like, but you bring it up, and it's like it's whoever thought that is like, okay, for what? Like, this is not fun. And I know it's not supposed to be fun, but it's like, at least in the original, you move off it. And again, right after that scene, everything goes to hell. After that scene, after the scene in the movie, Hawaiian roller coaster ride, things will go left. I believe that's when they're on the hammock, right?
Yeah.
That's like immediately followed. It goes to the hammock. And it's like,
also what I hate about it removes any levity because when you have characters trying to like solve the problems themselves, even though you know they're going to be fun at the end, it's like, you feel the levity of what they're feeling in that situation. It's like, you can feel like they're how scared they are that they're not going to bring Lilo back to life.
Right.
In the infirmary, you don't see Lilo getting. They're just in a waiting room. You don't see Lilo getting the.
Well, you can't have it be in that.
And, like, you know she's getting treated by professionals. And you you can't have that. Also, it's not even treated with levity. It's like they're just kind of talking and
about
like
insurance.
and the lady comes out like. Lilo asks to play with the MRI scanner. Is that normal? Is that weird?
No, I know, but it's like, all right.
Oh, and they're like, that's classic Lilo. Oh, she's fine.
That's funny. Insurance. It's like, if the scene ended with that, without talking about the insurance, but they dropped the insurance nugget earlier, so you gotta fucking bring it all full circle here. It's like, fuck, man, that's a horrible thing to loop in, especially at a time when people are having such stress in real life with this. It's like,
it should have been the scene from like that SpongeBob episode where the doctors look over. This man has no insurance, and he just pushed the bed out of the fucking house.
So funny enough, at the very end, of course, Nani's goes over to school, which again, it's all treated very much like, good job, you're doing a good thing. This is all good. Pro you, get it, go after it, get it. And they keep talking about this thing in California. Do you understand that Hawaii has the best marine biology college? I don't know why. I don't know what that real world college did to not get referenced. But like, they keep lying to the audience by saying that, like, no, California, go to California. California has the best institution for what you want. It's like, but in a real world setting, in this real world movie, Hawaii has the best college and university to study this. So if you're going to have her do this, she could have stayed in Hawaii. Like, what are we doing? Why did you make this fiction up that Hawaii doesn't have the best college for this stuff? Because they do. You made up this lie that California has it better.
Lilo and Stitch is brought to you by United States colleges.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what are we?
And Disney World.
Disney World, but like, it doesn't make sense. Like, but it's like again, like, this movie has so many like incorrect things, but it's all over the place.
Now that your family's back together, Lilo, what are you gonna do? I'm going to Disney World.
Misa la Quista. And then don't forget. No, but don't forget. It's like we're going to Disneyland. Sorry, Lilo, your family's too poor. You can't pay for it because this is the real world. It's like Snyder level depressing. But yeah.
Also, the portal got broke. Is she like fucking stuck in Hawaii? What the fuck now? Fix it. Like.
Yeah. I just know that she can just portalize. Again, like the movie wants to give you the impression, she can portalize through, so everything's fine.
So,
like again, she gave up. The point was to not give up Lilo, and instead she gave up Lilo. So. Yeah.
So the last point I just want to get that I haven't made yet is like.
Yeah.
Stitch looks really good in live action. He still looks cute.
Except for water.
Huh?
Except for when he's drowned out and he looks like a goddamn sea monster.
He feels fine. He's fine.
It's fine, but it's fucking funny as fuck when you see him fucking laying there on the sand at the end of the movie.
I wasn't thinking about that.
Shit was terrifying. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, but like the other aliens look fine. The console, the only ones that just looks weird is Jumba and Peakley, because I get the designs are, I guess, faithful, but like not in the way that there should be, because like, I get this supposed to be compared to realism live action, but like, these are aliens, so you can take any kind of liberty with them. Jumba looks weird and hairy, and it's like he has a phallic nose. And he's like, in the original, he is like oversized and pudgy. He's like kind of cute in some ways. And it's like, and this is just like, he's just this ugly, grotesque things. And like, there's a reason they don't show Peakley and Jumba in the trailers that much. And it's like, when the teaser came out, when the teaser trailer came out for Stitch, you only saw Peakley for a second.
Yes.
Yeah, because, I'm pretty sure everybody was like, ugh.
Exactly.
Peakley looks the worst. Because, again, his design-wise, shape and everything, faithful, but, like, they could have gone about it in a different way, because
100%.
I imagine Peakley, like, in a better-looking way to look like Mike Wazowski.
Yeah.
And it's just like make him look... Why is he so moist? Everything about him is so moist! And it's like, I hate his fucking eye! It shouldn't look so moist either.
That does look weird.
It should look more cartoony, like Jumba's eye. Or not too realistic. Again, he should look like Mike Wazowski, but like skinnier and like with limbs and shit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, with a body.
No, I'm with you. It's weird. It is beyond weird. I thought again, like I don't.
And a lot of like cartoony things they do with Stitch that don't work the same. Like one of the best scenes in the original movie that they kept abusing in the advertisements for that original movie was the record scene when Lilo and Nani like look at this, and it's a fun. Because, like, also, that's also another thing missing about this movie is, like, Nani is just, like, she's, like, constantly disturbed by the actions of Stitch.
Yes.
And it's like, no one is seeing...
In the fridge,
no one is seeing...
in the fridge, yeah.
No one is seeing Stitch the way that she sees it.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck is... Just, like, mentally, she's like, what the fuck is this thing? Because, like, the whole fridge scene where Stitch is, like, gets
gets a drink out of the fridge and walks back. Yeah.
And Stitch just looks at her for a second, like,
yeah,
hey, bam, leaves, and then like she wakes up Nani in the morning and like, hey Nani, look at this, and like she's like witnessing what Leo's like has to show her, and it's like, you ain't nothing but a hound, rotten in time, and it's like, she's like, what the fuck is this thing? And like in the movie, she's just like brushing it off, and it's like.
But it's not just brushing.
That scene is perfect to showcase the difference between
the. It's not just brushing it off. She is distracted.
Yeah,
she's not even focused on Lilo.
It shows you. It perfectly shows you the difference between the original and the new one, where it's like Lilo is doing the same thing. She's showing Nani, and it's like, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
And it's like this is an iconic scene in the original. Like, all you need to do is just recreate it.
Here's another.
It's a very, because they use it throughout the. That scene was abused in advertisements of the original movie. I remember that.
Many people have noted this as well. Not your thing, but a lot of people noted this as well. Stitch at the we never see Stitch become his full self again. He becomes a dog. He stays a dog. and he's never comfortable enough to not be himself.
Yeah.
He's never comfortable enough to actually be himself anymore. And that's also a glaring sign of what...
Oh yeah, the double arms doesn't come back.
Never comes back. Because again, this movie misses the point entirely. Like, yeah. But I think this movie is supremely disappointing. In terms of, again, like we gave our brief thoughts, like, but again, like, this is a shell of the original. It lacks all the subtlety. It lacks all the storytelling. It lacks all the imagination. It lacks that character depth. Like, there's so much about this movie, and it's longer too. And like you said, it does not care to include things that it could. There's so much that is destroyed, and it's going to make more money and more money. And it made $400 million already. But
It did its job. It's a cat's grab. It came in, it grabbed the cash.
yeah.
And it's probably gonna... I don't want to see... I want more Lilo and Stitch. I don't want more of this Lilo and Stitch. And I'm gonna get more of this Lilo and Stitch.
Remember when we just asked them, hey, like, if you're gonna do remakes, could we just get, like, maybe try CG, like, animating this instead? Like, do what you do with, like, you know, you have a whole division for this. But instead, the live action thing is taken off, so that's all we're gonna get.
You got a whole streaming service. Just give me like a special. Just give me like revisit the Lion King world. Give me a new animated adventure. Revisit the Aladdin world.
Buddy.
Give me a new animated adventure.
Lion Guard's gonna be your best thing, and
it's a Playhouse Disney show though.
Yeah.
Give me a new Lilo and Stitch adventure. Our son, just make it a Disney Plus. It doesn't even have to be a full movie. Just like fucking 40-minute long special.
This is my
30-minute fine. I like shit.
This is my biggest issue with these remakes is, like, they reshape forever how, like, Disney wants to, from this point forward, they don't want you or anyone to acknowledge the original. They want you to get the soundtrack, this modern soundtrack that has a Bruno Mars drop. By the way, the wedding scene is just stupid. That wedding scene is so fucking stupid. It's like what do we include this for?
He blacks out to that song too. It's like do 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 do.
Like, it's not even like, who thought this was...
Also, that Hunka Hunka Burnin' Love, like, that song, that version sucks.
Oh,
I don't know who sings it, but, like, they suck.
You're talking about the end of the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one, it sends you off so happy. It sends you off so bumping. You're happy, you're booming, you're going. And also, you're watching these the storybook progression of what's happening with the characters.
You're talking about in the original, right?
Yeah, in the original. As they're with these postcards of, like, what's happening as they're going on these adventures, and they clearly have money because they're going on a Disney cruise.
It's a great ending. It's just like
it leaves you happy. You're bouncing in your seat. The music's great.
Makes you walk out of the theater like, damn.
And then this movie, it's the shittiest goddamn variant of the same song. I can't believe how...
I don't know who sings it, but they're doing a horrible job.
But, like, the idea that, again, why aren't you using the 2002 soundtrack for this moment?
Well, also, it's like, I probably just referencing the original, but, like, the sequence starts, and it abruptly stops.
Yes.
And then after the whole Nani scene where, like, they talk over the internet and stuff, it comes back.
Yeah, it's like, it's so... This just it's just horrible. And then one of the last things I'll mention that I forgot to mention is Lilo and Stitch it doesn't drop it all the time, but it has a great score. It's very early 2000s, but they have a great score. You hear it in the beginning, you hear it at the end during the rescue, but great score. Da 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 da. And it's like, this movie is empty. This movie is fucking empty. If it happened, I didn't hear it, and if it happened, it was irrelevant because whatever was on screen was not really tied to the music. Like, what the fuck was the soundtrack here? Like, it was, like you said, the Elvis being used in a horrible version of itself in comparison to the original too, so all of it sucks.
I mean, again, and all these characters are just worse for themselves. And, like, we were talking about John Pico earlier, but, like, the actors that play them, in their human forms, their scenes are useless.
Yes.
Because, like, in the original movie, it's kind of like a Wile E. Coyote or Sylvester and Tweenie kind of gag every time they're trying to... in this movie. In this movie, it's played like a Looney Tunes gag of them trying to get Stitch but messing up. In the original movie, they're like a looming threat. Like, they know, they don't have to do much. They have to wait. They're just waiting for Stitch to slip up.
Yep.
They're just like Zero waiting for him to slip up.
Well, they're also slipping up themselves by doing a bunch of.
Oh yeah.
But like you said.
But when they're actually trying to get Stitch, they're actually a threat.
Yes.
And this one they're just like, they're loony guys. Like they messed up. He was supposed to shoot Stitch, but he shot Bleakley.
It's.
Womp womp.
Yeah, I don't know.
Also, like a surprising joke I'm surprised they didn't do is when Bleakley's in the bath and the director calls them, they didn't make it. I was surprised to make a joke about human genitalia, and Bleakley even stands up. I was expecting her to turn around like. Ugh!
I didn't know that they were going to do that, but I'm surprised they dropped a. And again, I know it sounds very like old man yelling at cloud, but like I'm surprised they dropped a what the hell, because again, Lilo and Stitch was very dialogue-wise non-cursing. Outside of when Stitch says "Misa a la cuista," or whatever,
It says the N-word in Alien.
But we never get any of the human characters saying.
Oh, those
we literally
people have translated the Stitch-isms, and they do mean something.
Right, but but in this movie, you get a blatant "what the hell?"
It didn't bother me. I can Stitch. The original movie is adult anyway, so it would fit in the original.
It would fit in the original. I just appreciate the original for what it is. All right. I think we've exhausted finally our thoughts. After, by the way, taking about a 45-minute break with another person to talk about other variables about this movie, and then coming back on track to finish this discussion. So we've spent a lot of time talking about.
We spent exactly 2 hours and 20 minutes on this.
Beautiful. I can't wait to drop this. I'll probably drop it tomorrow. Literally, I think once it's on Drive.
I'll put it on the Google Drive.
You put it on Drive, I'll drop it.
We're gonna take like a 5-minute break.
All right. All right, guys. This was, Lilo and Stitch. It sucks.
Yeah, just watch the original. Watch
the original. Stop going to the fucking theater. Just watch the original.
Watch the show. You don't need the animes. You can do well.
Yeah, but you can spend. It's gonna cost you what? If you go on a Saturday, it's gonna cost you if it's 3 people, 2 adults, 1 child. That shit's gonna cost you $45 or maybe 40. All right, just get the DVD of the original, or just stream the original, whatever.
No. You guys can watch this movie. Just pirate it. Don't give them any money.
Pirate? No.
Steal.
I'll make it easy.
Steal it.
I'll make it easy. Just wait for Disney Plus. Holy shit, guys.
I want the. They don't deserve it.
No, they do. That's what it deserves to be. Get it. Just wait for it on Disney Plus. I don't give a fuck. Do that, and then but it's gonna make a lot of money.
Steal it.
All right, guys. But again, you can find
Arg.
But you can find me at Brian the Baltimorean on Instagram. You can find me at Democracy. That's ATHEMOC.
And then watch the original on Disney Plus.
And you can find
give them those ratings of the classic.
Where can they find you?
At Cannabis. It's K9BIS KUTS.com. It's really ruined my brain. The whole conversation was
this was
our
3.5
cameo guest
hour
ruined our brain. Ruined my brain.
Yeah. All right, guys. Appreciate you for watching. See you next time.
Well, good night, everybody.
Oh,